Hey, what is up, YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. I'm a full-time drummer and drum teacher here in Auckland, New Zealand.
Nice band meeting. Brett.
Yep.
Jermaine. Jermaine?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, well, you're here.
Today, we've got a very special PayPal request. Now, this one's for my good buddy, Mike Gehrman. Mike, I hope you're doing well out there. He's written here. Hey, Andrew, how are things going in New Zealand?
It's good.
I've sent you some PayPal contributions for 2 reactions when you get the time that I think you will find interesting. First one, Black Sabbath. Lord of This World from Black Sabbath's 1971 third album. Hold on. Black Sabbath released their third album in 1971? So they had released 3 albums between 1970 and 1971. 3 albums. Incredible. From Black Sabbath's 1971 third album, Master of Reality, by which time Tony Iommi, Mike, you've done the phonetics for me there, I really appreciate that, had firmly established metal in just 2 years. This is the timing and style of a minway, an 18th century slow ballroom dance for 2 people, so that the listener is figuratively dancing with the devil. All right, we're going to get straight into it. I have found the link for this song on Drumeo, so I'm going to be able to follow along with the transcription. Amazing. And you, as a subscriber of my channel, get access to a free 30-day trial with Drumeo, so you can go along and download a whole bunch of Black Sabbath transcriptions all for yourself. Now, just before we get to the video, a quick word from today's sponsor.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm just kidding. We don't have a sponsor. But hey, I do have my new merch line out. Check that out. The Drum and Coffee Drip t-shirt, all kinds of new merch. I'll put the link to the merch store in the description of this video. In fact, I think it's in the description of every video. So if you would like some Drums and Coffee merch, brand new, hot off the espresso machine, go and get it. With that said, let's check out Lord of This World by Black Sabbath. Cannot wait. Single stroke 4. Rudiments. That is. That is a grind.
You're searching for your mind, don't know where to start.
Okay, straight away, I've got to comment on the bouncing shuffle rhythm that we've got going on here. Just changing from a different tempo, much like on the previous reaction I did, which was Soundgarden, Rhinosaur. And I've said before, I feel like Soundgarden, I can hear there's a direct line from Sabbath to Soundgarden in terms of influence, among other bands, but just that whole thing of just changing tempo. I don't think that's a related tempo to what we had before. Super, super cool. And I feel like I'm hearing layered, not harmony, but just layered, at least doubled vocals there for Ozzy. So it sounds like we're getting into some more production by this point on the third album. I'm assuming the band were, the big stars at this point. Well, not big, rock stars. I know the first album sold 1 million copies. So who knows? Perhaps a bit more money behind this one. This is just so fascinating and grimy and dirty and beautiful. I'm going to have to go back to the start. I love this. Mike Gehrman, stop it. No more Black Sabbath. Triplets. Cool, cool, cool. Aussie vocals here.
You're searching for your mind, don't know where to start. Can't find the key to fit the lock on your heart. You think you know, but you are never quite sure. Your soul is ill, but you will not find a cure. Yeah!
I don't want to stop this too much, but
That's what she said.
I want to go back into that verse. I don't think I've gone back this much in any video at all, but
That's what she said.
I want you to listen to Geezer on bass, Tony Iommi on guitar, and the right foot, the kick drum of Bill Ward. I was going to do this for Geezer and Tony, but it's the three of them. Tight. Dun, 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 dun. They're all just pounding that rhythm, and there's just enough grease. There's just enough dirtiness. On that big triplet fill, I heard a little bit of, and again, this sounds like a diss. It's not a diss. I heard a little bit of funkiness in that triplet fill from Bill Ward, and I love that. That's what I live for now. I live for the real drum stuff. There is just heart and soul in this. I feel like Ozzy's vocals are really front and center, but I'm going to go back. I feel like the vocals are mixed quite high in the song, actually, but I'm going to go back and just listen to the bass, guitar, and the right foot, the bass drum on the drum kit, and listen to how in sync they are. Oh man, this is good stuff.
You know, but you are never quite sure. Your soul is ill, but you will not find a cure. Yeah!
Back to the groove.
Your world was made for you by someone above, but you choose evil ways instead of love.
Now this.
You made me mad.
Now, this can be where a transcription can really help people, because it clearly shows here with the little three, the swung part, the part that's been shuffled. The right hand part here is not a shuffle. It's straight. Bill Ward's playing straight eights on the right hand. He's shuffling and he's swinging the bass drums. Dum da da ga, da dum da da ga dum, da dum da da ga, da dum da 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 dum, da dum. But the right hand is keeping straight. Really cool, and a real cool groove lesson right here in swung 16th drum feel.
Master of the world where you exist. The soul I took from you was not even missed. Yeah!
Set up. Cowbell? That was Again, we're doing this thing with Black Sabbath where we've got like 4 songs in one. I'm just going to back it up a little bit. Now, this here, did you hear how the whole band cut out at this point? Right here. Well, we had a little bit of on Tony's guitar. This is a jazz setup. This is a jazz setup setting a new tempo with his 16th note partial fill into the new section, which is a new tempo. This is jazz, guys. I don't know how to break it to you, but this is jazz. This is a setup. Right foot, 16ths. Chelorando. Geezer, giving it some. Absolutely textbook Billboard. Now all these bits here, dun 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 dun, with the choke, dun 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 dun, something something something, dun 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 dun. In between that, he's doing all these setup fills, and they are different every time. This is what Bill Ward does, and this is why I'm so impressed with Bill Ward. It's his amount of vocab and a just straight up amount of chops. Listen to the way he sets up all this call and response vocal stuff with his drum fills. Triplets, 60s. Different every time. Lots of left foot. Now we're back to this dirty shuffle.
You think you're innocent, you've nothing to fear. You don't know me, you say, but isn't it clear? You turn to me in all your worldly greed and pride. But will you turn to me when it's your turn to die? Yeah.
Another section. Ah, boy, I talked a fair amount and stopped the video throughout, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. That's what she said. But what can you say? Sections. The amount of sections and ideas. Still, by the third album, I mean, admittedly, this is just a taster of the third album. I haven't heard the whole third album. But to still have access to this many cool ideas, yeah, there's some repetition. There's a lot of this swing blues feel, which they obviously feel super comfortable in, and they're just obviously used to living in shuffled, swung world, which in itself, a little bit unusual. Possibly not for the late 60s and 70s, but a little bit more unusual these days for just, I guess, your normal rock band and metal band to be playing swung and shuffled ideas. I don't know how common that is in 2022. Although admittedly, I did hear a bit of that in some of the Opeth stuff, but still, you get my point. Bill Ward, back there in this crazy new heavy metal band playing jazz. Playing jazz. Now, there was a point there, it was one of the guitar solos, I could hear them really ramp it up and take it up a gear, and I could hear Bill Ward crashing, either crashing on a ride or crashing on a crash, riding on that crash. And I felt like the intensity really went up, and I felt like not a critique on the engineers or the production, but I feel like the technology and the engineering couldn't quite keep up with that gear shift. It felt like they had to pull the levels down. I could kind of feel the volume come down as the intensity went up. So there are a couple of little production things like that how can we put this? Possibly might have held Black Sabbath back and meant someone like Bill Ward didn't get the kudos that someone like John Bonham did. We all know and love John Bonham's sound. Great sound, and that's not just a production, that's just not a engineer thing, that's a lot, 99% down to John Bonham. I just wonder how much, even at this point, by the third album, were they struggling to contain the band? Were the band playing so loud in the studio that it was hard to contain? Because I felt like there were a few of those little moments in there where I really wanted it to just soar, but it wasn't as crisp. The drum sound I'm talking about here wasn't as crisp as I would probably hope. And honestly, that's about the only thing that's going to come close to some kind of critique that I can find. This might be a new favorite. I absolutely love this. Mike Gehrman, thank you so much for the request. Guys, I really dug this video. I hope you did. And if you did, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and letting me know what you think of this video and what you would like me to check out in the future. If you are watching this because you're a Black Sabbath fan, I've got a whole Black Sabbath / Bill Ward playlist. You can go and check that out. If you have a direct request that you want to be on the channel, you can hit my PayPal link, or you can join up with my Patreon, and that gets you access to all the blocked videos. I kind of just want to run through like the entire Black Sabbath discography now, but I don't know. Might need to create a whole different channel for that. Guys, until next time, take care. Ciao.